Hi everybody, and thanks for joining me in today's video. Today's all about the Infantry Fighting Vehicle, the IFV, which I've had a hard time saying for whatever reason. IFV, Infantry Fighting Vehicle. It's kind of similar to a tank, but a little bit different. The Infantry Fighting Vehicle is predominantly used in transporting troops. This is in real life. Now, in the game, in Battlefield 6, this vehicle is predominantly used to just fuck shit up, to put it lightly. This thing is awesome. I really enjoyed using it and playing with it in the game so far, especially on Siege of Cairo. This vehicle just destroys everything in its path, and I think it's pretty balanced too. I love the little guided rocket as well, and those rounds are just totally devastating. Here on this map, I think it's called Peak, trying to defend or capture point D here, and it's not going so well. What I've realized with these vehicles is, although you feel invincible, they are definitely not, and that's where the support class, or I guess the engineer class, comes in handy. I really like the class like upgrades or the abilities. I used it there to heal the vehicle much faster, and here's another one head on. Some good combat here. See the damage numbers? There's a lot of armor on the front, so if you're trying to take these things out, you want to aim for the back or the sides. That's where less armor is there. So far in the beta, I thought that these vehicles have been pretty well balanced. I think getting hit with 3 or 4 RPGs would destroy pretty much any vehicle anyway, so I think that they're pretty balanced as it stands in the game. I wonder what changes will be made. I don't even know what killed me there, but I wonder what changes will be made in the full release of the game when it comes out in October. And as always, we provide a little bit of history, a little bit of real-world history as we play these games. The infantry fighting vehicle concept evolved directly out of the Armored Personnel Carrier, the APC. During the Cold War of 1947 to 1991, armies increasingly fitted heavier and heavier weapon systems on an APC chassis to deliver suppressive fire for infantry debussing from the vehicle's troop compartment. Not really sure what that debussing means. I'm reading from a very trusty source called Wikipedia, if you're familiar with that. So essentially these IFV, or the APC vehicles, they just started adding more and more weapons, and then it became essentially like another tank, if you will, from the Cold War. And this thing definitely feels like a tank, that's for sure. This cannon and that guided rocket are just so cool. I had so much fun, playing with those. And what I realized, my strategy with these vehicles is to not stay in one place for too long. I think sometimes what happens, people get into a tank and they just sit on a hill, and you're just almost like being a sniper, like a tank sniper, which in my opinion isn't as effective as, you should push forward, engage with the enemy, allow for your teammates to move up with you, and then if you're taking too much fire, then you back off and get repairs, but then come right back into it. You shouldn't be just sitting in the back of the map trying to snipe with a tank, because that's not really the whole point. As you're going to see here in a second, we turn this corner and immediately we're flanking one of their vehicles. We have multiple enemies to our left and to our right, and here's a good shot right in the back, 460 damage. And then from here, I mean, he's pretty much in critical health. We have 2 infantry in front of us, but first we're going to deal with this tank, blow him up, and that's no problem. Can't even see. I mean, it's just chaos in this beta. And these guys, I mean, unfortunately, no match. This is an anti-air vehicle, which takes a rocket right to the face, and he's done. He's out of that. That's 2 vehicles down, and then we get shot from the back. So, as I mentioned, pretty balanced, right? Like, tanks should be strong and capable, but also not invincible. And I think that so far in Battlefield 6, it's done a really good job of maintaining that balance. Now here I feel bad for this guy, because he turned the corner and I don't even think he had a chance to realize what was happening. And then this guy with the sniper is somehow going to try to blow us up, but that's not going to happen. And I love the, like, you can press shift if you're on PC and you get the speed boost. It's awesome. Just running right into people left and right. I really enjoy this map too. I think that obviously there's kind of an issue with some of the snipers. It's like Sniper Alley, especially on like Breakthrough. But for Conquest, I've really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun playing and just bashing through everything. Buildings, vehicles, people, you name it. This thing is awesome. And again, I can't stress enough, you know, if you're taking damage and you don't know where that damage is coming from, just get out of there. Reverse, get out. If you've played Delta Force before, that game, you can heal a lot of vehicles. And there are times when it almost seems like you can't, if you're an infantry person, trying to destroy a vehicle is actually difficult because you can repair it. It's just like a class ability or I guess a vehicle perk or whatever. Whereas in Battlefield, at least in the beta, it seems like that, you know, that number 3, that first ability, you can only use it when the vehicle is at like critical health. I think that that's the perfect way to use a perk or ability like that. It shouldn't be, you know, if I'm at 70% health, I shouldn't just be able to turn a corner, re-heal up to 100%, go back into the fight, and then say I take a little bit of damage, then I just go back and heal up. You know, I think it should be like a last-ditch resort if you're in critical health. Trying to shoot a helicopter is not going to go so well. I don't know how I missed those guys to the right of the vehicle. I totally didn't even see them until I started reversing. But sometimes in Battlefield, man, it's just like I don't even know. I'm on autopilot because there's explosions and people blowing up and blowing me up. It's just total chaos left and right, which I love, which is why I love playing these games so much. And yeah, calling out for repairs is always helpful. Nothing is worse when your teammates are just not reviving or repairing. They're standing right next to you and they're like completely oblivious to you know, what's going on around them. It's probably one of the most frustrating things about Battlefield. Now here, right away, we got a good shot on that tank, but that main battle tank would destroy us in like 2 shots. So I'm going to get out of there, and I'm going to try to flank him. Because again, if we shoot from the engine or the rear, that's the best place to do the most damage. So we're going to do a little off-roading, see if we can get behind that vehicle. But I'm also worried about any enemies that could be to the right on D here. Because earlier in the game, we had a lot of fighting over at D. So I'm trying to look, make sure nobody's coming up from behind us. And right as we turn the corner here, the tank is already dead. But it was a good idea, right? We would have had him. We would have had a good shot on him at least. And then we're moving down closer towards A and being aggressive. As I mentioned in the beginning, you know, don't just sit on a hill and pretend to be a sniper, a big sniper in armor. You should be aggressive at times and help capture those points when you can. And here's their vehicle. See that right there? Almost 500 damage. We hit the back on the rear, and he's in trouble. So seeing that, I'm trying to get right over to him, see if I can flank. But my teammates took care of him before we could kind of turn the vehicle and get to where we needed to go. But that's the best way, in my opinion, of playing. I think my teammate was going to try to get in, but then I... Whoops, sorry, buddy. Yeah, that's the best way to play in these vehicles is if you have the advantage to just go for it. Don't wait or don't, you know, think of, you know, trying to get the perfect angle or whatever. Just chase after him if you got him on the run. So that's going to be all for me today. I really hope that you have enjoyed watching and listening. Thank you so much for joining me for this game. And let me know what you think of the Battlefield 6 beta and how excited you are for the game. I'm very excited. As I mentioned in a previous video, this could potentially be one of my favorite Battlefield games of all time. So very excited to see what the improvements are and can't wait for launch in October. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.